We are Klein Alley Show. What's going on in the world? Let's figure it out together.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News. All hail the Onion Queen.
That's right. Okay, so the Barbie movie was the highest grossing, biggest movie of the year, and it has made Mattel insane amounts of money. And now Hasbro is going, hey, what's going on? Where's our turn? Where's our piece? We want $1 billion movie, too. So they went to Margot Robbie, like you do, and they said, let's make a Monopoly movie. You've made a movie about the most popular doll in the world. Why not make one about the most popular board game in the world? And they say Margot Robbie's production company has agreed to this and that they already have a clear vision for the film, and they consider the Monopoly franchise to be, quote, a top property.
Yes, what's sad is you fast forward a year and she will not get nominated again, and the Monopoly Man will get nominated. And it's going to be all...
Well, that was my first thought, was like, who is she going to play?
Well, she may not play anything in that
No,
movie.
she needs to.
Why?
Because I love Margot Robbie. She needs to be in everything, especially things that she produces. Now I expect her to be in them. Like, she was in I, Tonya, and they produced that. She was in this movie, and they produced that. Now that has to be a thing. They can't take that away from us now.
I don't really know. I mean, it's been a while. I know Monopoly. I remember the McDonald's Monopoly because I was into that for a bit until I found out that whole thing was rigged. But
it was?
Oh, yeah, there was a whole story about it. It was crazy.
The guy, like a documentary about that on HBO.
Yeah, the guy was like funneling the good pieces, the $1 million pieces, and the park places and the boardwalks to like friends and family, and no regular people could win. I was going there. I almost put on 30 pounds trying to win a truck, I think.
That's a really nice statement.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're willing to admit that.
Yeah,
you don't seem ashamed.
No, I was eating there for a while. I was eating there like 3 or 4 times. I didn't have a car, and I was like, the only way I'm going to get a car is if I win one through this McDonald's Monopoly. I'm just going to keep eating it until I win.
I guess with Barbie, I know that there's some kind of like a story. You know, she has a sister, and there's a whole thing. Like, she has a personality. With Monopoly, I don't know where to start. It's just streets and a guy running around with a mustache.
Well, that's her job. She's got to make it interesting now, right?
She's got to play the Monopoly guy.
He has a monocle.
Yeah, he's got that monocle, which is kind of cool. Remember we talked about.
You know what? You're right.
The original flex.
I stand corrected. All right. Do you have a plan for, say, like a second country that you would ever live in if you had to leave America? Aside from the whole like, oh, I'm moving to Canada, like those throwaway statements that people make, do you have an actual plan?
No plan. But I would. But given the option of going north or south, I would pick Mexico any day of the week over Canada. No doubt. No question.
Well, for us, I feel like you got Canada and Australia. Those are the only two countries left that like radio is still like a big thing.
I will not make my decision based on what radio is big. Trust me.
You should make a decision based on where you think you could live and work.
No, I'll be fine in Mexico. I'll figure something out. I have a feeling I'll figure it out.
You'll just go to some shady operation.
Yeah.
So apparently these days, more and more people are coming up with legitimate plans for living in a different country if it came down to it. And rich people are building what they call passport portfolios, where they collect second, third, or even sometimes fourth citizenships in other countries in case they need to flee America. For whatever reason. There could be a million reasons. And the top countries that people are applying for citizenship are Portugal, Malta, Greece, and Italy. So places that maybe have an easier citizenship process. You know, in Italy, they were like offering people money to go move there. So a place where they really want people to come so that it can be easy to get citizenship, and also a place that is really beautiful and you could probably see yourself happy there.
I just read a story, though, about all this because Italy was doing that thing where you could get a house for $1 or something like that.
But it was like an old-ass castle where you can't live.
You had to agree that you were going to spend a lot of your own money to fix it up and make it,
livable.
And I saw all these stories of the people that did it because they were like, let's just do it. Let's just buy the house.
My sister was talking about it.
But it always turned out badly because they couldn't, the money to even make those things.
Well, it's like somebody giving you a discounted boat. It's like, here you go, this is $1, take it, and it ends up just being a huge money pit.
I'm glad you brought up boat, Allie, because we've seen the pictures of the boat that you will be playing One-Armed Gary for in the rematch.
And it looks great.
Did anyone else see those pictures, or am I the only one that got that text?
I saw a picture of a boat. I thought it looked kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Every boat is cool.
No, this one, Allie, you got to play him and pool. We'll get to it. It's all coming up. We get into a brand new hour of the show. We do it right now.
Klein Alley Show.
I never get to listen to you guys live, but I'm up early today. So excited. Double deuces booze, dong dong, rock 10 panty lines, sweet divots.
Sweet ribbit.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
800-520-1067. Call us now if you'd like to go to the Netflix is a Joke Presents. We got your choice. Big Mouth, live at the Greek Theater on the May 2nd, or we'll send you to see Jon Stewart back at The Daily Show and Friends at the Greek on May 3rd. The choice is yours. Call now, 800-520-1067. Nice to meet you. I'm Klein. There's Allie.
Hi.
DJ Omar Khan. Jake Z Nerd. I was just listening to some of this Jake trying to return his rental car audio that we'll get into later this morning in the show. It's kind of wild, Allie. I mean, here's just a tease, but this is coming up later this morning.
It happened 4/9 at around 2:40 Central Time.
Yeah. Well, also, I think not just the tire, but I think the back of the trailer caught the car, too.
The debris.
Like you see, it's not like...
So the debris and the back of the trailer hit the passenger side?
I can't tell you exactly what part of his truck hit it. Because, like, again, I'm trying not to die. But...
Ka-ching, ka-ching. This is what the woman's hearing at the rental car place.
Sandwich here, boop, and here, boop, 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 boop.
She did find a bunch of things I wasn't aware of.
Yep, they are good at that.
Yeah, they'll find everything. It's like when you drop off your car at the valet. When you drop it off, they'll look that thing over for 45 minutes and write down every little scratch on it. But then when
they
you
get
go
back, they toss you the keys, and they're like, bye.
They toss you the keys in a dark alley, and they go, just take it out of here, not our problem now.
Well, and think about when you bring a car into some place and they're paying for the damages, they're like, and this too. This was part of the damage.
Right.
So they're going to find things that were pre-existing that you probably have to pay for.
This hour on the show, Allie is, of course, going to her first ever Coachella. She's turning it into Cheapchella. And because it is a Thrifty Thursday around here, we want to hear about all of your festival/concert hacks, things you've done and things you do to make that experience, which is usually pretty expensive, a much more affordable experience. It doesn't just have to be Coachella-based, but everyone has gotten their things. I mean, there used to be a festival, I think it may happen at Coachella as well, where people would go to the festival grounds 2 weeks early and bury bottles of booze and drugs.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I've heard of that.
In the ground. That would happen a lot at like Outside Lands in San Francisco, but people would go there 2 weeks before the festival would even start setting up, and they would bury all of their drugs and alcohol in the
smart, but
grass,
then
and
once you get too wasted and you can't find where your treasure is,
right?
Some homeless guy 3 weeks from now is going to find it and be so happy.
Stub his toe in a bottle of Jack that was buried there. So we'll get to that this hour as part of our Thrifty Thursday. And, of course, there's nothing that makes us happier than giving you things. So we will grab one of these calls in a second and reward you very, very, very handsomely with tickets to the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival. We kick things off, though, with Dave Grohl and his Foo Fighters right here on KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
KROQ.
KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show, an hour to go. We get you some Coachella tickets. We get into this edition of ADD News with some breaking ADD news.
Hold on to your Adderall, kids. The lesbian is talking. It's time for ADD Breaking News.
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this. OJ Simpson is dead. It's kind of hard to believe.
And he did it, by the way. He did it.
Oh, no.
Well, Allie, think about it. Right?
What do you mean? This one or the last one?
Both. But OJ Simpson, 76, battle with cancer, but...
Yeah, earlier this year, he'd revealed that he was diagnosed with cancer, and then there were a lot of rumors going around that he wasn't doing well, and that he was already in hospice, which resulted in a video that we played on this show back in February around the Super Bowl.
Hospice? Hospice? You talking about hospice? No, I'm not in any hospital. I don't know who put that out there, but whoever put that out there, I guess is like the Donald Singh. Can't trust the media. In any event, I'm hosting a ton of friends for the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas.
So he was in Vegas when he died.
First time he's ever lied right there. It's the first time. Because clearly, I mean, look, it had only been a few months. Super Bowl was February. Here we are now. So clearly he was not doing great then.
No, he wasn't doing well. He maybe was not in hospice, but he wasn't doing well. And so they said he died at his home in Vegas. He was surrounded by his family. Like a lot of people, I did not know anything about O.J. Simpson until I saw my parents glued to the television watching the O.J. Simpson trial, which still to this day is probably the most famous public trial ever to take place. Movies have been made about it. Shows have been made about it. There are classes on it. I mean, if you think about how impactful that trial was and how this guy was so lovable beforehand and then became this villain that then all of a sudden was declared innocent and he lived on. Then he went to jail again, remember that? And then everyone said that he smelled in jail and they called him Stinky.
That was the part I remember most. I didn't know who he was until I heard that story about being called Stinky in prison.
Yeah, and then he was let out again, and he was seemingly living his best life, and then now this is how OJ Simpson goes out. It's wild.
In many ways, a mascot of Southern California for a variety of reasons, the good and the bad. But OJ Simpson.
He was a mascot for
So God bless. Take care.
That's right. Thank you, OJ. Final words. Yeah, because I think
him and Richard Ramirez were real mascots.
I think of OJ as a mascot for a few reasons, but I mean, think about it. He had the acting thing figured out with the Naked Gun trilogy. He was even in that 33
he really
and a third
figured
one.
out acting.
Figured out acting.
That's all there is to figure out. When you made it to Naked Gun.
He went. That's what I was getting at. He went to college right here, so he's probably one of the biggest, most famous. Whatever his stats on the field were incredible. And then the chase. I mean, the chase is something that will
probably
always
one of the most famous police chases
ever, and that will always be in the DNA of this where we live. I mean, that's a lot of. When I kind of figured out the freeways when I first moved here, that was like what my point of reference was.
That's so funny because one of the first times I visited here, my uncle was taking me around and he's like, and this was part of the OJ chase, this area here, and then his Bronco went up here, and then it was like a tour of OJ's police chase. Like that was one of my first forays into LA.
Someone said he's already released a new book called If I Did It by Cancer.
No.
I don't know.
But that was the other thing is everyone was like, we know he did it. And that was so frustrating. It was like, dude, he obviously did it. Who else could have done this?
Right. Yeah, it was a real situation now. They've broken in now on ESPN. They were covering the Masters. I was all excited. And now they've all broken in with their OJ Simpson coverage.
Crazy to see him in black and white in that like in memoriam display.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are going to publicly say good things about him.
I know.
Mean, it's weird to say bad things about a person after they die, but when they're a murderer, like OJ was...
And a crime committer in general.
In general, right. Let's since the murder, there was all those other crimes that happened where he beat up the guys, threatened them with guns for the sports memorabilia.
And then seemingly didn't have a whole, like, still seemed like he was a happy guy. He was, like, living his best life.
There's no remorse.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was any shame or remorse for any of his actions.
And he was always shocked. Because remember that, Omar, we had a clip that we played where people were, there was some murder, another murder that happened, and people kept asking OJ for his thoughts on it.
And he's like, why are people asking me this?
And he was like all shocked.
He's like, I don't know.
Because you're a murderer. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, I think, didn't he say, like, if I would have done this one, this is what I would have done? Because he went into, like...
Go to OJ for tips on murder.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't get it. People always want to ask my thoughts on murder. We're like, yeah, because you're a murderer. Yeah. That's why.
I know.
You're like a murderer that for some reason just, like... We all just go, whatever. Welcome back to society.
I know, and it was weird that we kind of welcomed him back in. Like, in general, over a lot of time passing, he was kind of, like, celebrated again. It was like, OJ, you crazy murderer.
I found that clip, by the way. It's him weighing in on the Alex Murdaugh trial.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Here we go.
Hey, Twitter world is me, yours truly. Well, a whole lot of people are asking me what I think about this Alex Murdaugh trial. I don't know why they think I'm an expert on it, but I got to admit, when he took the stand.
But anyway, who knows?
What are you talking about? Like,
I love how he's like so flabbergasted.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, and then just some updates on that case with Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, the guy that was accused of wiring himself millions of dollars to cover his crippling gambling debt. They have determined that Shohei had no idea about any of it. So the feds did their investigation. They concluded he was not involved with the gambling. He was 100% the victim. He wasn't even helping him out and doing him a solid by like helping him cover his debt. He didn't even know the transfers were going on, and he's a victim of fraud, and the interpreter is expected to plead guilty. And it's funny, Klein, because you say no one can say Shohei Ohtani. Whenever I hear people reporting about this interpreter, no one will even say his name.
They call him the interpreter.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, they go,
and his interpreter is going to
Shohei's
plead
friend.
guilty.
Nameless friend.
Yep.
People are very upset Omar did not drop the Cancer Schmancer drop to celebrate the death of OJ Simpson.
To celebrate the death.
OJ Simpson is dead, and Omar's got the cause, I believe.
Cancer Schmancer.
The world famous KROQ. Klein Alley Show. KROQ. Klein
and Allie Show.
5 minutes to go till we get you into Coachella. Be ready to call. The number is 800-520-1067. We got your ADD news to get to with more breaking ADD news all morning. Go ahead. You're on KROQ. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Who's calling?
This is Gary, the one-armed nightmare.
Oh.
It's a great new album title.
Are you calling to pay respects to OJ, or are you calling for different reasons?
I just wanted to go to Coachella, so I thought I should. Oh, he told me to call, so.
No. We're not doing that for another 5 minutes, Gary.
Okay, well, I'll come back in 5 minutes.
Great.
All right, good luck. There he is, one-armed Gary. Hey, we saw. Whoa, there he is.
I would love to see a GoPro of just one-armed Gary at Coachella and see how that goes.
Oh, Allie, take him as your plus
Totally.
one.
I want to see his band at Coachella.
Hey, Gary, we saw the picture of the boat you want to play Allie and Pool for, and we're interested. I saw the boat. It's a real boat.
Yeah, I know. I'm down.
All right, hold on.
I would love that boat.
That's one-armed Gary. Let's get to your news, then we'll give you your Coachella tickets, and who knows, maybe one-armed Gary gets through again. I know that'd be impossible, but listen, crazier things have happened.
Hold on to your Adderall, kids. The lesbian is talking. It's time for ADD Breaking News.
All right, well, aside from the fact that OJ Simpson has died, there are some twists and turns with a big case this week, and I don't know if you've been following this story. It was horrible murder-suicide that took place in Woodland Hills, and now there's a crazy new twist to it, and every day I feel like there have been some new insane details about this story. It all happened on Monday, where this woman who has a partner and 2 kids. She's got a 9-year-old girl and an 8-month-old girl. She was in a fight with her partner, and this was like in an upscale apartment complex in Woodland Hills. She stabs him, kills him, then gets on the road in an SUV with her kids, pushes her kids out of the car on the 405 while it's moving.
Jesus.
And then eventually she gets all the way to Redondo Beach before driving into a tree at 100 miles an hour. Her older daughter survived. Unfortunately, the baby did not, which makes me sick to my stomach. And then now they're finding out that this woman was an influencer astrologer who had over 100,000 followers. Her name was Mystic Lipstick, and Aoka was like her side name. And she was posting all this crazy stuff about the eclipse and how she was super freaked out by it. And one of the last things she posted was, alert, this is the final warning. Turn notifications off. Do not look at the eclipse. Something big is coming. So, I mean, obviously this woman had a psychotic break of some kind, but I think the eclipse was really effing with people's minds, and this is a horrible example of that.
So she was so convinced that this eclipse was going to
like
be
the end of the world,
the beginning of something terrible that she wanted out. And I mean, that is just everything about this story is sad.
And it's like, and I know it's
crazy.
insane as a parent to even think that anybody could be capable of doing something like this, but I think when you're in a psychotic break like that, you feel in this weird way like you're saving them. Like, well, this horrible thing is happening. I have to save them from this, you know? Terrible. And it's just, it's awful. And, like, my mom's in town. It's every day she's like, and did you know? And did you know? And did you know? Yeah, it's just one of those stories that you'll never stop hearing about.
Got a lot of salaciousness, as Vanessa likes to say. So everyone's going to be talking about it. I mean, I can't get over the fact that this is still, I mean, now probably OJ will bump this one, but this was like, you know,
lead story every single day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Lead story.
Well, especially a crime with 3 different locations and so many, different pieces to it. All right, it's always great hearing about out-of-touch newscasters trying to figure out what's cool and what Gen Z is saying is in or out. And there are all kinds of things that are in now that used to be out, like ugly shoes are really big now, Crocs, Uggs, all that stuff. They're really embracing the ugly, which is good for people like me. But here is a gaggle of women talking on the news about how eyeshadow is no longer a thing.
So Gen Zers are once again throwing shade on their elders. So Gen Z thinks that eyeshadow is a Gen X and millennial thing.
It's true.
What does that mean?
I don't understand. So here's what the TikTok ladies are doing.
Use your best influencer voice to talk about this, please.
Hey, guys. So you take your balm, and it's not only for your lips and your cheeks, but then you just rub the excess on your eyelids. There, 3-in-1 steps. Follow me for more tips.
No.
Well, you know
Just
what?
let that sink in.
That's a good impression. She's spot on. Does a great influencer voice.
Yeah, but I think
so I don't understand. Eyeshadow is out now?
Eyeshadow is out and ugly shoes are in.
Huh.
Which actually kind of feels like this is my time, guys.
Yeah,
Like
no makeup and ugly.
when I went
Allie.
when I went shopping yesterday,
You finally are in your moment.
It was all baggy jeans again, which I never looked good in skinny jeans, okay?
Right.
Eventually, after like 5 years, I was like, okay, I guess I got to do this. And then now skinny jeans are out, and it's all about covering your shame with baggy
overalls,
clothing.
Aren't they back? Or
Big overalls, yeah. And then they have some that are like all cutesy where you kind of look like an adult baby. I can't really pull those ones off. But a lot of them are just like ultra baggy. You've got all the really long pockets that go all the way down your ass to like the middle of your thigh. They had butterfly clips. I used to use butterfly clips all the time. I'm like, I don't know if I should go down this road.
Once everyone looks like an out of work train conductor, Allie, you'll be like, yes, I finally hit my moment in fashion.
There you go.
We get into a brand new hour of the show right now, and we have Coachella tickets for you as we kick off the 9 o'clock hour right here, KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
We did it. But I just want to let you know that you guys are my favorite thing. You guys get me through the day. I appreciate you guys. I feel like I had something else to say, but I'm a little high, so I forgot. But
they call me the Barman.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
All right, caller 20. Let's make your day instantly better, your weekend instantly better, your life instantly better. Call us now, 800-520-1067. Coachella awaits you. The return of No Doubt, Vampire Weekend. The list goes on and on and on. Too many bands to possibly list now, but it's all happening starting tomorrow. T-minus 24 hours to go till your Coachella. And do you think, Allie, the death of OJ will overshadow the festivities of Coachella?
Not in any way.
I agree.
I don't think it'll affect anything.
One person will change their plans at all. This hour, our buddy Noodles from The Offspring will be on with us to talk about Red Hot Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, where you'll have the ability to play music with the actual, not lookalikes, not AI versions, not holograms, but the actual artists and bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, The Offspring, 311. I mean, this is a real opportunity, and I think a lot of people probably put it on the bucket list sort of situation.
Yeah, or if you're a band that you feel like, you've got something, but you need to hone your skills or figure out kind of how to take it to the next level. If you take master classes from these guys at the rock camp, then you're going to possibly get there.
So we'll find out all about that later this hour. Also, Jake the Nerd had to go ahead and try to return his rental car after putting 3,500 miles on it and crashing it. We'll see how that went.
I didn't crash it. I got ran into.
Well, you brought back a very damaged rental car that you did not pay for the insurance on, and so we will hear the moment where you brought the car back and how they reacted. And we've all got our bets as to how much that's going to cost you. We'll figure that out later this hour. But right now, let's go ahead and make someone's day better. And we say hi to... Hello, Rob.
Hello. Hello. This is Robert. Hello.
Did you catch Jake?
Right now?
Hold on.
You sound like you just got back from Coachella.
Jake, are you...
No. So that's my voice. I had cancer in my vocal cords. So I'm just super stoked to be talking to you guys.
Hey, you sound great.
You're not talking
super
much.
stoked to be talking.
Say what now? Hold
It's
on.
a little rough. Yeah, it's a little rough.
What happened to your vocal cords?
So I had cancer. I never smoked or anything in my life, but I had a smoker's cancer about 10 years ago. Yeah, they cured me. Praise God, man. They cured me 10 years ago.
Cancer schmancer.
There you go, Omar.
Yeah, you know what? Cancer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. Don't give it any respect, Nice. It's just a cold.
It's a beautiful story. And listen, here's the good news. I mean, I thought that was probably the highlight of your life, but this may be because you're going to go to Coachella this weekend, all right?
No way. This is crazy. That's so rad. Man, seriously, I've been listening to KROQ since day one, and same with No Doubt. My daughters, when they were born, we saw No Doubt.
I don't want to cut off your story. I'm sure it's a lovely story.
Save
but
your voice.
The Killers are going to start, and just enjoy your tickets, and thanks for listening, and appreciate it. Congratulations.
Klein Alley Show.